And Brooklyn Eric, who's been, pretty loud on social media. He's been saying that, or the rumours have been saying that he was going to put in a 4.5 billion offer for Tottenham Hotspur, but yesterday did confirm that he will not make a bid for Tottenham. He put a statement out on X yesterday saying it's been a privilege engaging with Tottenham Hotspur and the Lewis family representatives over the past few months, and I have great respect for the club, its leadership and its supporters, and wish them nothing but success. And there's a statement here on the London Stock Exchange that says the board of Tottenham Hotspur Limited notes that the recent announcements from Firehawk and Mr. Eric's consortium that they do not intend to make an offer for the club. The board thanks them for the constructive approach taken in discussions with the club and the Lewis family representative, and respecting the clear position of the Lewis family that the club is not for sale. Following the announcements made by the consortiums, the club is no longer in an offer period under the City Code on takeovers and mergers. The person responsible for arranging the release of this announcement on behalf of the club is Peter Charrington. So that puts that one to bed.
Yeah, and I think they're the third potential suitor to officially say they're not making a bid. So whether, I don't know how actually serious he was, to be honest, from the get-go. He seemed to be taking it very lightly, the fact that he was making offer, doing all these cryptic posts on social media, teasing the fact that he was going to make these large offers, promising £1.2 billion in transfer budgets. He never seemed that serious to me. It always seemed a bit like he's trying to get his name out there in the news, drum up some interest in him, but ultimately not actually follow through with it, and he was never actually serious about it. So it's come to pass, he's not making an actual bid, an actual offer.
Yeah, I mean, with the other ones, obviously Eric's out, Amanda Stavely, and I can't remember who the third one was, but they've all been.
Was it a Chinese consortium?
Malaysian, I think it was. Yeah, so they've all been kind of ruled out. However, I was listening to Simon Jordan a couple of weeks ago or a week ago, and he was saying regarding Amanda Stavely, like, he doesn't think we've heard the last of that with
Probably
Stavely
not.
and Spurs. As much as like publicly she's ruled things out, he's like, Stavely's a fighter. Like, she did the same with Newcastle, apparently ruled out and then came back with another bid and ended up taking over Newcastle in the end. Stavely was pictured in the boxes at Tottenham in the NFL on the weekend. I don't know if that's got anything to do with anything, if she's still sniffing around the place though.
Look, at the end of the day, all it means is they can't bid for another 6 months.
Yeah.
6 months is nothing in football.
Yeah.
So it will come around very, very quickly. And all of a sudden, maybe it'll be a different situation. And just because Levy's left doesn't mean the sale's going to go through quickly. But I do think they are going to facilitate one at some point. But it doesn't mean it's going to happen immediately. And they still got to they want to get the best value. Obviously, there was rumours that Levy was a big reason why a sale was becoming difficult, or whether he was charging too high a price, or the fact he wanted to stay on was causing too many problems, and that was obviously part of the reason he left, allegedly anyway. But obviously ENIC want to get the right price for them, and that's going to take time. It's not going to happen immediately.
Yeah.
So I never expected a sale to be agreed this quickly.
All right, well, that's that. It looks like ENIC will be here for, at least the next transfer window anyway. So we'll have to see what they come up with. In terms of Harry Kane, so there's been a lot of rumours surrounding Harry Kane and the return to Tottenham, return to the Premier League, with various ITKs and stuff like that. And Harry Kane has been asked about a potential return to the Premier League or a new deal at Bayern. And he says, in terms of staying longer at Bayern, I could definitely see that. I haven't had those conversations with Bayern yet, but if they were to arise, I'd be willing to talk and have an honest conversation. In terms of the Premier League, I don't know. If you had asked me when I first left to go to Bayern, I would have said for sure I would come back. Now I've been there a couple of years, I would probably say that has gone down a little bit, but I wouldn't say I would never go back. I'm fully all in with Bayern. If there was a conversation about extending, we'll see. But I still have got this season and another season. It's not like I'm in my last year. It's not like there's any panic. I am calm. I love the manager at Bayern. And as long as we are improving and I'm improving, then I'm happy to see what we can achieve. So, I mean, look, at the end of the day, he's not giving too much away.
Yeah, but I mean, he did. I mean, he's been quite honest. He says it's gone down a bit. The fact that whether he'll come back or not.
But going down a bit,
doesn't have to say that.
Yeah, but going down a bit, I mean, doesn't mean that it still says that it's not sure if he would return or not. So, I mean, I don't read too much into that. I don't think there is too much to read into it.
I don't necessarily think that it's anything definitive, but I do think it's significant the fact he's saying, when I first left Spurs, I was like, okay, I'm leaving Bayern, but it always kind of was meant to be temporary. Now he's not so sure, which means maybe there's a higher possibility he either ends his career at Bayern or maybe he doesn't even come back to the Premier League and go somewhere else. I can understand his thinking because obviously as English football fans, and he's so close to that Premier League record, and also, England's his home, you'd think one day he'd want to come back, break that record, and that would be up there with his kind of goals before he ends his career. And I'm sure that is, but that is probably still the case. I'm sure he's still thinking of it, to be honest. I don't think that's left his mind. But since leaving the Premier League, obviously he's now competing for titles, Champions Leagues every single year, which at Tottenham unfortunately wasn't the case. He's now getting a lot more prestigious kind of he's been looked at with more in a higher echelons. Like, he's been thought of as one of the best footballers in the world now. He's been even talked about potentially as a potential Ballon d'Or winner for next season by some people. Those are the conversations he's now in. Whereas at Tottenham, he was seen as like a fantastic striker. Don't get me wrong, and probably the best striker in the Premier League. But for some reason or another, he was never in those conversations for one of the best players in the world or best strikers in the world, but all because of this trophy talk and all this kind of nonsense, which obviously was nonsense. But now he's at this massive club. He's playing with, obviously, unbelievable players. Now he's in those conversations. But I wonder what he's thinking when it comes to when he's saying it depends what we achieve, it depends what we're fighting for. Does he mean if I can win that another Bundesliga and win the Champions League, job done at Bayern and go home? Or is it like if we're not like in getting close to a Champions League, then maybe I need to move on somewhere else to a different club? I wonder what does he mean by that? What depends what we look to achieve.
Where's the actual quote? I don't know, but I just feel like he will be back. I really believe it. Like, I don't know if it's going to be this summer or next summer. Maybe he'll wait until his contract's completely run down. Look, I have no doubt in my mind that he's enjoying his time at Bayern and he loves it there, and he's in a team full of winners and he's in a club that wins year in, year out. And I think he loves it there. And I think the way he's thinking about it right now, he's inside those four walls of Bayern Munich, and he's fully invested in the project, and he's a pure professional. So I don't think he has the need to think about leaving or think about anything else at this moment in time. But when push comes to shove and there's an offer on the table from a Premier League club, and that Premier League club is serious and significant and going in the right direction and has chances to win trophies, I think he'll end up leaving.
Yeah. Guess it all depends. What do you reckon, even this summer?
It could be this summer, but I think more likely to be at the end of his contract. Yeah.
And then obviously he can leave on a free, but maybe he'll want to make sure Bayern get a fee like he did with Tottenham. I don't know if he cares about that or not. Obviously he left with a year left when he could have waited a year with Spurs.
I think that stuff with him wanting Spurs to get a fee, or I think that was all just talk, to be honest. I think he just wanted out of the club. Like, he wanted to move on. I don't think like he left a year early just because he wanted Spurs to get a fee. I just think he wanted to go and win trophies.
Yeah. But for Tottenham to be in a position where he's willing to come back, where do we have to be, do you think? Is let's say we finish fifth this season, but that's enough for Champions League, right? Is that enough to say, all right, Harry, come back and, get us back in a title race, or get us into a title race or something? Or do we have to actively be in a position where we're looking like we're getting closer to actually challenging for a league title?
Yeah, I don't think we need to be actively in a title race, but I think that there needs to be something to show him that we could be in a title race, and he could be that kind of missing piece to push us into that kind of zone in the Premier League. And it's all about the conversation that he has with Thomas Frank and the management at Tottenham Hotspur. So it's all about selling him a project, isn't it? I don't think it's about seeing what we've done in the previous year. It's all about selling to him and showing him what we can do in the next coming years.
Yeah, and right, but let's say, but could we do enough this season?
We have to be in the Champions League. That's for sure. That's a certainty. We have to be in the Champions League.
Yeah, he's not coming if we're not in the Champions League.
No, we have to be in the Champions League, and Frank needs to be able to sell him the idea of Spurs being in a title race.
Or even if we finish fifth, we could like this season.
If we get a Champions League and finish fifth, I think that's the good starting block. Like to be in the Champions League, that's the bare minimum, and I think the rest of that has to be sold by Thomas Frank.
Is there anywhere else in the Premier League you think you could you could see him playing in? No,
to be honest. Could I see him? I don't think he goes to Man City because Erling Haaland's there. Manchester United are just a shit show. Unless they like dramatically improve over the next year, I can't see him going there. Liverpool, they've got Ekitike and Isaac now. I can't see them being in the market for a striker. Arsenal's complete no-go. And the other one is Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea, they could be in the market for a number 9. They got Delap and João Pedro.
It's not really in their policy, is it?
No.
To go for a 33-year-old.
Not really in our policy either.
No, but I think we've done it before. I mean, we got Bale, who was only on loan, but we can make exceptions.
Yeah. Nah, I can't really see him going anywhere but Tottenham in the Premier League. And it's not even just about going to a club where you think you can win the Premier League. I think it is in his mind, whether he says it or not. I think it is that he wants to break that Shearer record. You know, as much as trophies are amazing, breaking Shearer's record, you still go down as one of the best Premier League players of all time. Alan Shearer didn't win many. I know he won the Premier League with Blackburn, but he's not remembered for that. He's remembered for being the top goal scorer the Premier League has seen. Yeah,
I do wonder if he wins another Bundesliga and they're not looking close for a Champions League, does he just say, "All right, I've won 2 Bundesligas, it's time to go back now"?
I think you can safely say they're going to win the Bundesliga this year.
10 wins in a row.
They've got no challenger. They've got no challenger this year. Bayer Leverkusen have dropped off the face of the earth, and there's no one else really to challenge them this year. Champions League is the big one for them. I think they've got it in them to win it. They're going to be they're one of the favourites, but it's so hard to call the Champions League. You've got so many other good clubs as well.
It's mad to think about as well with his current goal scoring record. If they do go on to win the Champions League and England have a decent World Cup as well, there's a very realistic chance he's winning a Ballon d'Or. Very realistic.
Imagine Spurs sign the Ballon d'Or winner.
That would be incredible.
That would be crazy.
That would be madness. Imagine if you cast your mind back to when all those memes were being done with Harry Kane in the Jesus costume and all that.
There were memes with Harry Kane holding a Ballon d'Or.
Holding a Ballon d'Or, yeah. And now, 10 years later, we are actually realistically talking about Kane. And to be honest, she should have been in those conversations for a long time. Unfortunately, because we underachieved as a club, he was never in those conversations.
See, the Ballon d'Or is not actually about the best player in the world. The Ballon d'Or is about the best player at the best club. You know what I mean?
Because he had that 1 year at Tottenham where he actually outscored Messi and Ronaldo. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And
he should have won it just for that.
He could have won it just for that. But yeah, because we were never close to a Premier League or a Champions League, really. Obviously, we did get to a final, but he actually wasn't involved in that year. He's never been involved in those conversations. But now he's at a club like Bayern. He's actually got a realistic chance of actually lifting a Ballon d'Or.
I would love to see him back at the club, no matter his age. I think he's still got so much in him. I think he would come here and take us on to another level, in my opinion. I think he's one of the most, if not the most, disrespected players in world football. The way he's talked about is nowhere near kind of the level he's at. We were just talking off camera, talking about him being potentially the best player in European football, and I think he's not far off it. I really do believe that. See the goal he scored last weekend. Like, oh my
Phenomenal.
days.
The way it swerved.
Outside of the foot. That swerve, oh my God, man.
And you know, Lewandowski, how old was he when he moved to Barca? He was like 35, and he won the league, got Golden Boot there. Like, I think Kane could easily go into his late 30s, still bagging in and being the top goal scorer conversations in the Premier League.
So Harry Kane, right? Have you seen the form that this guy is on?
It's ridiculous form.
So last game he scored 1. The game before that he scored 2. The game before that he scored 2. The game before that he scored 3. The game before that he scored 2. The game before that he got 2 goals and an assist. The game before that he got 1. The game before that against Andorra, funnily enough, he got 0. Game before that he got 2 goals and an assist. The game before that he got 2 goals. The game before that he scored a hat-trick. The game before that he got a goal. I mean, this guy is on crazy
He's the best
form.
player in the world right now.
Yeah.
Best player in the world right now for sure. So how many goals is he actually on?
So in the Bundesliga, he's on 11 goals in 6 games.
It's crazy.
3 assists in there as well. In domestic cup, he's got 2 goals in 1 game. For England, in the Champions League, he's got 4 goals in 2 games. In World Cup qualification, he's got 4 goals in 5 games.
So if you're just in for Bayern, we're just about hit October, and he's already on nearly 20 goals.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's madness. Madness. He's already had a good season. If ending now, he's had a good season.
Yeah. He's got more goals this season that Solanke and Richarlison got like combined over the last season.
Do you think there's a chance if he didn't score another goal between now and the whole end of the season, he still gets more goals than our strikers?
Probably.
How mad is that?
Ridiculous. But anyway,
That's crazy.
That's Harry Kane. Let's hope he can come home. I don't think if it does happen, I really don't believe it's going to be this summer. I think it'll be the end of his contract at the end of next summer. Let's talk about Luka Vuskovic. Vuskovic has been named as Bundesliga's Rookie of the Month for September, breaking records. We know that Vuskovic loves to break a record. In every league that he's gone to, he's broken records. And the Bundesliga is no different. Vuskovic became the first player to win 18 aerial duels in a single match in Europe's top 5 leagues over the last 5 seasons. SofaScore's records, which began in 15-16. Sorry, the last one to beat him was in 15-16, which was a record held by Andy Carroll for 24 aerial duels against Everton, 28th of December 2019. So the records did begin in 15-16, and that's when the last a player in the top 5 leagues got over 18 aerial duels.
Yeah, it's mental. I've never seen, forget even just for an 18-year-old, I don't think I've ever seen any player as aerially dominant as that. It's absolute monstrous. The guy, when you put into the fact he's only 18, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible, the numbers he's putting out. And if you look at his career trajectory, he seems to be again, stepping up in a better league and absolutely smashing out yet again.
Yeah, unbelievable. So I think this has got to be his last loan spell. He's got to come back into Tottenham next year and be part of the first team squad. And that's why I was saying to you last week when we were talking about it and potential signings, like if we are going to go for a centre back, it has to be a loan because we've got enough centre backs on the roster. Just some of them are out on loan, and Vuskovic has got to be top of that list. Like he's got to come back into the first team fold next season.
Yeah, and when he won Rookie of the Month.
Yeah,
Rookie of the Month, incredible for him as well. And only a second month in Bundesliga football, incredible.
And he scored, didn't he? He scored
nice goal.
He scored Hamburg's first Bundesliga goal in 7 years.
Yeah, he scored, and then also a few minutes later. Did a goal line clearance to keep the lead.
Yeah.
Last game, I'm just looking at his stats. Won 5 of his 7 aerial duels. Like, the guy barely gets beaten in the air. And he's only 18.
I know.
It's mental.
Mad.
And he's playing in a top 5 league. He's playing in a good league now. Like, before... You
could say Bundesliga's top 3 league.
You can maybe say, it's a very good league. And before, he was doing it in the Croatian, he was doing it in the Polish, he was doing it in the Belgian, which are all, not as good as the top leagues, but now he's literally doing it in a top 5 league, and he's like absolutely phenomenal. And Hamburg were tipped to struggle as well this season, and they're currently 9th in the league. He's doing really well.
Yeah.
Doing unbelievably well.
Absolutely. So big up to Luka Vuskovic, man. Next up, we're going to talk about Mikey Moore. Football Insider has revealed that Mikey is unhappy with his role at Rangers so far. Russell Martin had deployed Moore on both flanks and instructed Tottenham youngster to tuck inside rather than stay outside. Sources with knowledge of the player's situation believe the tactical instruction is the reason why we've not seen Mikey Moore at his best in a Rangers shirt yet. Tottenham have the option to end the loan spell in January, and it is asserted that the London club could seriously consider activating the option and ending his stay in Glasgow prematurely. If Spurs do recall Mikey Moore, the likely outcome is that the youngster will go on loan elsewhere for the second half of the season. It is explained that the winger will have no shortage of suitors in the winter if he is made available on loan, as clubs like Birmingham and Middlesbrough did want Mikey in the summer for a season-long loan spell, and they could reignite their interest if he is recalled. I mean, look, Middlesbrough doing fantastically well, second in the Championship, first before the last weekend. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a massive shame. It's not going well for Mikey at this moment in time. You're looking at the players that we currently have on loan. There are some of them are just absolutely smashing it, and we're going to get into a loan report in a minute. But with Mikey, he's just gone into a club that is just a shit show throughout, and it's hard for any of their players to do well. Never mind Mikey Moore, like a teenager in new surroundings and everything like that. Like Russell Martin's just been sacked, so it could very well change from now until January. So I still think watch this space with Mikey Moore and Rangers, because now the manager's gone, you do expect things to get a lot better there. I mean, like Rangers are sitting like 8th in the league. I think they've won like a handful of games this season.
From one.
This is mad. This is Glasgow Rangers you're talking about, playing the likes of Falkirk and Motherwell and all these teams, you know what I mean? And they can't get a win. This is crazy. This is unheard of. So I do think things will change now. A new manager's going to come in.
Yeah, and we'll see how that affects Mikey Moore's role. Obviously, maybe a new manager comes in, doesn't fancy him. We'll have to wait and see. If things are not going right, recall him and get him on loan to a Championship side, and that'll be the best course of action for me. Even Scottish League in general, I don't think is like fantastic for his development, because the Scottish League isn't the highest calibre. Obviously, he's got European football, so the Europa League games are really good, but I prefer him. I think the Championship would be better for his development if he gets regular game time there. So I wouldn't mind recalling him and putting him somewhere else. But yeah, it's not gone well for him. Obviously, Russell Martin's been a disaster, but I've watched a few of his games and he has struggled, unfortunately. But he's been played on the right-hand side quite a bit. I don't think he's as suited to that role. Look, I was so excited about watching Mikey Moore in Rangers in Scotland. And whenever I've seen Rangers on the TV, I do watch it just to see how he's doing, and it's not been a pretty watch, unfortunately. So hopefully this change of manager can completely change his fortunes. But
could be Stevie G, they're saying.
Could be. We'll see. But let's just hope whoever it is takes a fancy to Moore and starts him.
I hope so, because look, it's no secret my love for Mikey and the talents that he does have, and it's really upsetting, to be honest, to see how this loan spell has gone, because I was so excited when I heard that he was going to Glasgow Rangers. I thought it was a league that he could smash it in, could dominate in. When you saw him for Spurs in the Europa League last season, and some of the teams that he played against in the Europa League would probably finish in the top 2, top 3 in the SPL. So look at RZ Alkmaar and the way he took them to the cleaners in that second half, right? If he could take those performances into the SPL, he'd be like one of the best players in the SPL. So it's just about the manager finding a right role for him, giving him some confidence. I just hope his confidence hasn't taken a knock. Yeah,
that's what I'm worried about. But he's still young, and you cast your mind back to last year when we talk about. We'll get into Donnelly later, but Donnelly at this point was barely playing for Orient. It took until like November to get into the team, and then he had an unbelievable loan spell. So things can change very quickly.
Yeah, of course. So that's Mikey, and we're going to finish off talking about some quotes from Wayne Rooney on Match of the Day on Mohamed Cudis, and he says, I think that he's been a breath of fresh air. If you look at the stats from the game, he's finished first in everything. Duels won, successful dribbles, shots, touches in the opposition box, sprints, and he's had a real impact for Tottenham this season. He's got 4 assists this season, joint first in the Premier League. He's by far the most successful dribbles in the league. So all that was missing was the goal. And I think that goal against Leeds will push him to the next step. He's been a real top signing. And yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more with what Wayne Rooney has had to say on Mohamed Kudus. I've loved watching Cudis play so far at Spurs. He's offered something for us that we've just been crying out for on the wings for so long. I still think we need that kind of talent out on the left wing, which we haven't seen from our players just yet. But speaking on Cudis alone, I think that goal is really going to kickstart his season now, and he's going to start to get regular contributions for us. Yeah,
and I think he seems to be getting in more goal-scoring positions over the last few games as well. So clearly that's something they're working on. But I agree with everything Rooney said. I didn't know he was such a stat merchant. Wayne Rooney doesn't come across as one, but yeah, I think that's the thing with Cudis this season. You can see how much he offers, not just with his dribbling, which we know is elite, and that is like freakishly good. How good he is in the dribbling department, but I think what's maybe taking a lot of Spurs fans by surprise is how combative he is, how involved in the duels he gets, how hard he does work as well. All those different things is what he provides for the team, and how good he is when we're struggling in build-up and he has to kind of keep the ball and he has to kind of get us out of trouble. He's a bit of a cheat code in that essence. So he's been a phenomenal. Would you say he's been better than expected?
I mean, when we were talking about him, when we signed him, I think he's doing what it said on the tin, to be honest. Like, this is exactly what we've said he was going to do. We said he's going to, be immense for us in the duels in terms of his physicality. We said we're buying one of the best dribblers in the league. I mean, everything that we said that he was going to bring to Spurs, it feels like he's bringing.
Yeah, but obviously you had those maybe thoughts at the back of your mind with how bad, the fact that it didn't go so well in the second season.
I didn't have those thoughts.
Okay, but the fact he's hit the ground running, is that no? It's not a surprise.
Not to me. No, I thought we were buying a top player in Mohamed Kudus, and I think his year last year at West Ham, I never thought that was the true reflection of what Mohamed Kudus was. And I was delighted when we signed him. I thought we were signing a top player, and I think he's performing how I expected him to perform.
Just needs to get in Semenyo's here now, doesn't he?
Yeah, can you imagine? Can you imagine in next year we've got Kane up top, Semenyo on the left, Cudis on the right.
Don't even.
It's a new Tottenham, mate. Bigger picture.
Let's hope. Let's pray. But yeah, look, he's starting to get more and more recognition now.
Well, are you surprised?
I'm not surprised. No, I'm just maybe some fans might be. I don't know.
Yeah. But look, that is your Tottenham update for today. Let us know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all the news stories that we have brought you today.